What is up? It is the day of reckoning. I am paying dearly for my sins. It's day 48 out of 180. And yeah, I'm just feeling the taxes from the partying for 5 or 6 days up in the mountains with my friends. Mostly feeling it in my back. My back was just in excruciating pain all day, just locked up in my lower right side. I went to physical therapy at Core for a couple hours, and that gave me just a little bit of respite. They hung me upside down for a little bit, which I'll show a video of that right here while I'm chatting. Hung me upside down, and that just allowed my spine to decompress and took the pressure off whichever nerve is getting pinched by that herniated disc that was exacerbated massively from just so many days of sitting so much and travel and everything like that. And then also paying the serotonin and dopamine price as well. I'm just so on the fence. I by no means in any way, shape, or form want to promote people using drugs, because there is such a dear price to pay. And as far as health and wellness and everything goes, I'm on the fence as to where they lie on the spectrum, from abysmal for you to amazing for you. I don't know where they lie on that spectrum, because it kind of seems like they move all over that place, and it heavily depends on how you choose to use them. But make no mistake about it, especially with any of the party drugs like MDMA or things like that. I mean, you're definitely borrowing happiness from the future, but do those realizations, do those connections that you make, do the kind of epiphanies that you have, do those outweigh the cost? That's a choice that every individual needs to make for themselves. And it gets even more complicated when you're talking about being paraplegic and it creating such intense pain and spasms, and my legs are kicking all over the place. It's so intense for so long. I think it's on one aspect a little bit damaging to the muscles and the tendons, especially without aggressive stretching and standing and biking and everything afterwards, because they're so tensed and contracted for so long. It definitely causes, some shortening of the, what is it called? The posterior chain. All of the, from basically my Achilles tendon all the way up to my glutes is contracted so much. But also, on the other hand, that kicking and muscle contraction and action, that's a massive workout for my legs. It's basically a 12-hour workout where my legs every muscle in my legs are firing like crazy. And since, most of the time they're getting very, very little movement, I have to think that that has some positive effect as well. So it's definitely not something I would condone or promote in any way, but I think it's worth every person making their own decision and, weighing the pros and cons. I thought there was something on my tooth for a second. Pros and cons for themselves. And I found that once a year, going to an event like Shambhala, where I get to hang out in the woods with a bunch of people I love in an environment that's basically built to do psychedelic drugs, I find that the net positive effect I get from that and the realizations and the connection that I feel does, obviously I made the choice and I'm still happy with it, especially the feeling that I had. There was a moment where I really felt like I was connected to everyone and we're all family and we're all one being. I've never had that feeling so intensely and that realization. I've been able to carry that forward and treat every interaction that I would have with people where I would normally, someone would be talking to me and I'd just be like thinking in my head, like basically how quickly can I get out of this situation and, on to whatever I have to do next. I've just had way more patience and way more time, and realize like how many genuine connections I pass up with people that would probably be great additions to my friend group or my life in general in some way, and how many of those connections I pass up because I'm just so myopically focused on the goals and the things that I have to do. One of the girls that we went with is big into the star signs, and now I know it has astrology, a really specific name. Big into astrology, and she was saying because I'm a Capricorn, it makes sense that I'm very driven. And to be honest, she did like a reading of my star chart, and everything on it was incredibly introspective and accurate. So maybe there is something to that, because I am incredibly hard on myself, and that's one thing I've really tried to do this time is not feel guilty for the choices that I made. I made better choices than I ever had in the past in that environment. I ate better. I did less party favors and things like that. And I did it for a reason, and I'm just trying to only soak up the positive from it. Whereas before, I would just, after it was all said and done, I would focus heavily on the negative, and then I have all this guilt around it and feel like I shouldn't have done it, and that I put this major tax on my brain and my body, which I did. But I made the choice. I might as well get the positive effects from it and forget about the negative shit. Not forget about it completely and just trudge forward, but make really specific, thought out choices and focus on the positive consequences rather than the negative consequences. And it's made it way better this time, coming back from something like a music festival where I'm able to just dive right back into work and keep making these videos. I'm sitting here at my computer editing videos, talking to people about insurance, switching between work and hard work and fun work. And yeah, it's there's something to be said about just giving yourself a break every now and then, which I am very bad about doing, but just beating myself up and telling myself all the things that I should have done or could be doing or have to do. Sometimes just pausing for a minute and enjoying the company that you're with, enjoying the relaxation that you have a moment to have is really important, especially for people who have my disposition where it's just go all the time. And if you're not going, then you're just sitting, you're not enjoying the relaxation. Normally, if I'm not doing something quote unquote productive, I just feel, I'm just sitting there not doing anything or watching a movie or something, just racked with guilt rather than, consciously making the choice that this is what I'm doing right now. Might as well enjoy it, soak it in, have some fun. So all of those realizations packaged up and deployed into my life, I feel as though it was a net positive experience for me, and that I just have to pay the happiness tax for a week or so, and then I'll be, back up to normal. And in the meantime, just being extra devout as far as eating whole foods only, getting my exercise in every day, sauna, taking some supplementation to not only detox, but to, refuel my body with the things I need. Been taking some high dose methylated vitamins, vitamin B12, and a few other things. I've been taking methylene blue kind of prophylactically because I used a Foley catheter during the nights while I was there, so a little bit higher risk of bladder infection. So I'm taking 40 milligrams of methylene blue every day for 5 days with the infrared sauna, the infrared Juve light in the morning while I use the bathroom, and just, making sure that my body's in tip-top shape. And the most important thing that I would have neglected for all the rest of my life after going out and partying for 5 or 6 days or whatever, the one thing I would have done is I would have just taken a break from creative work like this, from whatever I was working on, and just basically used it as an excuse not to do what you do. And in getting done what I need to get done, working on the insurance stuff, working on these videos, I have kind of found like the evidence, created the evidence that I need to keep that momentum flowing and going. But yeah, definitely paying the price today. I'm exhausted. Everything's just a little bit gray and blue compared to how it would normally feel on a typical day-to-day, and that's exacerbated heavily by the extreme amount of back pain that I'm experiencing. But overall, stoked, and yeah, gonna get after it. I have an insurance appointment in 23 minutes. He's basically just been postponing hour by hour for the last 3 hours, so we're hoping that he actually answers and buys some insurance. But in the meantime, thought I filmed this video, edit up today's 49. I don't know if I was saying 48. I'm editing day 48 while I'm waiting. This is day 49 out of 180, and yeah, just stoked to stay after it. Don't know if I'll be going surfing tomorrow or not. Might just stay and clean up everything, organize the whole house, get everything unpacked, and just focus on PT all day. Just do back-related physical therapy basically all day long, and then go and hit the LA Fitness for a nice back workout. Definitely need to get the back muscles pulled back and in, get my posture better. Been a lot of sitting, slouching, plane rides, things like that. But anyways, gonna love you and leave you with that. If I do any interesting back workouts or anything like that, they'll follow up right after this. So see you in a sec. When it rains, it pours. Pretty fitting afternoon for what's going on. Our pool is, completely fucked and green because our pool guy fucked us when we were out of town. There is sewage water actively coming out of our bathtub because there's something wrong with our sewage. My back hurts like a motherfucker. The guy who I was supposed to be doing an insurance appointment with at 2, 3, 4, and now 5 o'clock has blown me off at each of those occasions, and I was already feeling a little gray and gloomy. So this is the perfect perfect physical manifestation of how my emotions feel right now. It is really pouring out there. Well, not the time, but anyways, some days it rains. Well, that is the conclusion of day 49, sitting here with some ice on my back and just get out of here. Just calling it all uphill from here, basically. Trying not to get distracted by that stupid lion next to me. But we watched Shogun for a little bit and just chilled out for the end of the day. Sometimes you just got to call it a wash. But gonna hit it hard tomorrow. So stoked that I can say I made it 50 days in the evening, I guess, tomorrow. But got a big day planned. Gonna edit up my Shams video, and so can plan on that coming out on Sunday or Monday, depending on how far along I get tomorrow. And then gonna hit a savage back workout, get a sauna in, stretch, and just nurse my lower back to, just a reasonable amount of health, just to where it's not in constant agonizing pain. Anyways, good night. I love you, and I'll see you on day 50.